that time again. Good morning. My wish is that all awaken to wholeness. Yesterday for me was one of introspection and feeling negative emotions. This continued into and beyond the evening when we did another love line here at the Mary Horgan Center. I realized during that time of shared feelings that I had been taking on the disappointments and challenges of others as my own. I tend to do that. Yes, I know the instruction and criticism that I am supposed to go within and not look outside. However, some of my deepest and most heartfelt feelings are triggered by what I see in the world. I realize that as long as anyone is suffering, my dream of a world at peace is unfulfilled. That triggers the fear that my wish for all to awaken to wholeness may not occur as quickly as I'd like. Indeed, this week has been quite a bit different than last week, and it dawned on me in the meeting last night as I was listening to others share that last week it was the waxing moon moving toward the blue moon on the 31st, and that high energy of that carried over into the weekend for me. But since Monday, and of course the moon began waning as soon as it reached its peak in the waxing process, but I didn't feel it right away begin to wax. It was still a full moon. But my emotional level began to go down, and I realized it before last night's meeting, that I've been listening to a lot of stories of people sharing with me of some of the situations that they're in. One particular individual shared that his home was repossessed by people bearing machine guns. And that always is a blow, because I know the criminality of it, and the criminals in this case are the bankers and the police. Most people still don't know that, but that's the truth. That's the truth as I understand it to be. Commercial mortgages and commercial loans of all kinds are fraudulent. Have been for a long, long, long time. Invalid contracts to seal them, not signed by the so-called lending party that has nothing to lend, that doesn't make it clear that what is being lent is a document that is a negotiable instrument that has monetary value, and it's not being lent by the lending institution, as we are falsely led to believe. It's being loaned to the financial institution, and a penalty is charged to the one doing the lending in the form of interest and having to pay it back. Indeed, Rus's idea, the Republic's idea of recognizing that you, the so-called borrower, is actually the real lender, and acknowledging that you are rewarded for it. You are giving the institution something of value to help society. But that's not the way it's been working in our world. And then I hear of others living in deplorable conditions whose homes are condemned and they have to move out, and they've reached the end of their line. They don't have a vehicle. They've lost their vehicle. They don't have, the food stamps have run out. Unemployment has run out. And beside themselves. Others just so overwhelmed by the situations in the world that they want to opt out. They would rather leave than stay here, and are talking about taking their own lives. These are just some of the stories that I've heard over the first part of this week. And my friend Margie last night said, you know, your videos the last couple of days haven't been as inspiring as they were. And I thought the one on hope was inspiring, but I only listened to it one time. I didn't go back. I don't go back and listen more than once on almost any of my videos. Very rarely do I go back. But what I hope to portray in sharing what I'm going through is to give you what we all get at the Love Line, and that is an opportunity to reflect on our own lives by listening to someone else share honestly what they're going through, without the mask, without the charade of pretending something to be other than what it is. We all go through these swings, these waxing and waning times. We all go through them. The heightened emotion and the relaxing of the emotion. The waves come in, the waves go out. This is life, at least on Earth, as we experience it as humans. This is what it is. And that channeled message that I got yesterday morning, shortly before I was ready to do my video, that really triggered it. When I see so-called higher influences basically invalidating the human experience and saying the physical doesn't matter, what matters is only the spiritual. See, I've never seen it that way. I've never seen it that way for almost my entire life, as far as I can consciously remember. I've always wanted to redeem the physical, the feminine, because the physical is the feminine. It's the material world, matter, mother. It is where the spirit, the energy of spirit, finds its expression and finds its form. And the form is important to me. I realize all of the spiritual traditions that goes against and flies in the face of. That makes it only the Gnostics, basically mortify the flesh because it doesn't matter. It doesn't have anything of value in it. Just mortify the flesh. Kill it, in other words. Because it doesn't matter. All that matters is the spirit. Well, I hear you. And I can go to that place inside of me. And if I didn't feel so connected to everyone else, I could probably find the place of peace. But when I hear story after story of people sharing first-hand or second-hand information about situations that they're familiar with or experiencing for themselves, and I want so much for it to get better. I want so much for this criminality of a matrix to come to an end. That matters to me. Yes, I want individuals to get it, but more importantly, I want society to get it. Now, I know it's a free will zone and people can do what they choose to do, but the truth of the matter, as I see it, as Ron sees it, is that most people do not have free choice at all. They don't even understand the game. Most humans are clueless. I know that. And so when messages come along that talk about a limited ascension, a limited awakening. It infuriates me. It absolutely infuriates me because I don't want anybody left behind. Now, those that really see, that really understand, and if they, with enough information to make a viable decision, if they choose not to awaken, if they choose not to ascend, if they choose not to love, okay, I can accept that as their choice. But that's not a choice that humanity has made. To me, humanity has made the choice to be liberated and set free, which is why I signed the petition to start arresting and putting criminal bankers behind bars. It's going before the European Union Commission in October. And I just signed it this morning, although it came yesterday, and I put it aside to look at later, and it's a Vaz, A-V-A-A-Z, that's putting out the petition. But this is where the real criminality is. And until we address this issue, there's going to continue to be suffering in the world. And there won't be peace. There will be people with machine guns wearing badges and uniforms that think they're upholding societal principles of some sort, when in fact they are working for the criminals. And they don't even know it. So I'm not throwing the blame at the police, although sometimes police or soldiers can take great delight in torturing and abusing others. And they've got to know when they're doing that they're doing something wrong. I can't believe people are so, their hearts are so hardened that they can't understand that when they're hurting someone else, that they're hurting them. Or that they take delight as if they're masochists, or I should say sadists. Anyway, these are things that from time to time I go through these emotions of seeing these things, and they trigger these, and it triggers fear in me. It triggers anger in me. It triggers a sense of not being able to accomplish my vision, my dream. And I feel sadness and sorrow. Like Jesus looking over Jerusalem. "O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, you that kill the prophets and reject everyone that is sent to you from God. How oft would I have gathered you under my wings as a hen gathers her chicks, but you would not." And I look at the world and I feel those same emotions, crying out in my spirit, in my soul, for people to simply wake up and understand that it's beyond religion. It's beyond the politics. But it is the religion and it is the politics at the same time. That these are the things that affect our lives. These are the things that make life either troublesome or joyous. And we have far too little joy and far too much sorrow, far too many troubles in this world. And I want so much to go to the root of the cause as I see it. This separation consciousness that allows and creates the hardening of the heart and causes people to hurt others and man's inhumanity to man. These things affect me. They bother me. Oh, how nice it was to hear the report or to get the letter from the attorney that the case is completed. Oh, how good that felt, and the victory that I felt, the validation that I felt after a long struggle. And then I get another letter, was it yesterday? I think so. Or Tuesday, I guess I got the letter, from that same attorney with a change of email address. Who cares? Why is she sending me a change of email address if the case is over and it's captioned on the case? Anyway, they would have probably been sent out a day apart, but I wouldn't have gotten it until Tuesday because of the holiday. Anyway, these are the roller coasters of living a human life, the roller coaster of emotion. And I'm happy for the happy feelings, and I'm sad for the sad feelings, but I appreciate being able to feel. And I encourage you to appreciate all of your feelings, to appreciate that you can feel sadness when others are sad, and joy when others rejoice. Appreciate the ability to do that. It's a gift, folks. It's a gift. And may we all awaken to wholeness and change the world by changing individual perspectives and thereby individual lives, so that we can create together a time of peace and great celebration. These are my thoughts and shared feelings this morning. If you find resonance, I'm happy. If you don't find resonance, oh well. Maybe in time you will. May you be blessed. Namaste.